Hello, guys. I've been wanting to do a pod style or a long video type of YouTube for a while, but honestly, I just didn't know what to talk about. So I'm just going to talk about something that is so dear to me in my heart, which is the topic of self love and self value. I'm shaking a little bit and I'm just gonna be real. I'll try not to cut this video because I want to use this opportunity to just be my true, authentic self, no edits, no cuts, just like we're conversing in person, okay? But just virtually. Okay, self love, self love. The topic of self love is so important. And I think what people tend to forget is that self love does not only come with itself, self value comes alongside with self love, self trust comes alongside with self love. So I'll give you an example because I've taken the time to work on myself and become the best version of myself. I am able to trust in my past decisions. So because I know I have a habit of putting my best interests at heart. When I'm about to make a decision in this present moment, let's say, for example, I made a decision that I'm no longer going to be friends with this person. And let's say in this present moment, I'm tempted to, rekindle that relationship or rekindle that friendship. I might be tempted because I'm human and I feel emotions, but I'm logical enough to know that my past self knew what she was doing by putting her best interest in heart and in mind to tell me why she wanted to disassociate from that person. So if I'm no longer friends with that individual, I know that my past self had a very good reason as to why they are no longer with that person. The reason I am able to trust my decisions that I've made in the past is because I have a habit of putting myself first. And when I say first, I'm not talking about selfishly. You should be able to put yourself first so that you can then pour into others. Oftentimes, people are pouring from an empty cup. They don't invest time into themselves, they don't invest time into working towards their dreams and their goals. So they're pouring from an empty cup, leaving them exhausted. And when you're pouring into yourself, you want the excess and the overflow to be able to pour into others. So that means you must constantly be pouring into yourself so that there's constantly things and overflow from that cup. So with that overflow, you're giving to others. So when you're giving to others, nothing is coming out of your cup because you are still full. Your cup is still full while you're helping others. So that's why self trust is so important. Because if you have a habit of not putting your self interest at heart or in mind, you're not going to be able to trust yourself with the decisions that you made in the past. And I talked about self value. Okay. Self love and self value are two completely different things. You can love yourself, but you can also not realize your value. So, some people say they love themselves, right? And it's true, they may actually love themselves. And then you take a look at their life, how they manage their time, the people that they associate with, it screams that they do not value themselves. When you value yourself, you're very intentional with the things that you do on a day to day basis, and you're very intentional with the company that you always keep. So, for example, because I value myself, I do not allow people to treat me a certain way because I know my worth and I know my value. Because I value myself, when people do not see or recognize my value, I don't view it as a attack on who I am as an individual, but rather I just say, oh, maybe they're blind to see it, so they don't even deserve to be with me. So I'm not basing my value and my worth on the basis of whether or not someone chooses to be with me or whether or not someone accepts me. When you value yourself, that value speaks in the way you dress. And because I started working on myself more and because I started valuing myself more, I try to be very modest in the way that I dress because my body is valuable. And yes, we know that it's like, as a woman, you could do what you want. Yes, you can do what you want. I don't believe that a true individual who values themselves exposes their whole body. You know, you do not, if you value yourself, you're very careful and you treat your body with care, with love, in ways that you want to be presented in. So that's about self-love and self-value. You might I've been getting some few criticism about my channel being selfish baddies, and like I said, the reason is because I want you guys to selfishly start putting yourself first, because a lot of women tend to pour into others and their cup is empty. They're draining, they're mentally exhausted. I want you to selfishly pour into yourself, and then that excess you're pouring into others while you are still full. So I know this was like a mini segment on self love, self value, self trust. That's all I have to say for now. Like I said, I just made this video unscripted, unedited. I just want it to be real. I want you guys to view me as your big sister that you never had, or if you have a big sister, let me be like your sister. Let's talk. I want this channel to help inspire the next generation of young girls. I want to instill principles like self-love into you, and I embody the things that I'm telling you guys to do. I'm not just like telling you guys and then not doing it, but I try to do it every single day of my life, and I have noticed a drastic positive results of that. So, yes, if you're interested in reading my book, it's all about healing. Healing is, it's called To Me. I wrote it to myself. Yes, it's called Healing Isn't Linear, a guide to becoming the best version of yourself, the best and healed version of yourself. I do have a code for YouTube, so if you use code YouTube, you get 10% off my book. I hope you guys enjoy it, and the link for my book will be in the description. You can also book consultations with me as well. Thank you guys so much. Love you. Until next time, please kindly let me know what topics you'd like me to talk about more or even address often. Bye.